Hello, and welcome to Business of the Creative Industries, the University of York's unique and innovative undergraduate programme for young people who want to make a difference in film, TV, theatre, video games, and music and live events, areas where the UK is a creative world leader. For every film director or screenwriter who hits the headlines, there's a producer and an entire production office who ensured his movie is financed, staffed, marketed, and distributed. For every star actor or marquee playwright, there are the backstage managers and impresarios who actually mount the productions on the UK's stages. The games industry in the UK is huge and features some world-beating designers and storyliners, but they need clever project managers and, of course, money to get their ideas onto our computers. And even documentary makers, often regarded as one-person bands, need researchers, producers, and, of course, commissioners if their work is to hit the cinemas or the TV screens. In other words, creative work needs managers, production staff, entrepreneurs, and financiers for it to happen. And the UK's creative industries are hungry for new entrepreneurs and new creative leaders to keep it growing, which is why York has set up its BA in Business of the Creative Industries, BCI. My name is Ed Brayman, and I'm BCI's programme leader, and I'm here to outline what BCI has to offer as you make what we all know is one of the most important decisions of your life: what to study at university as a launchpad for your future. With so much at stake, not least the cost, we see it as our responsibility to ensure you make the right choice for you based on the best information. So what does BCI have to offer? This is a degree which is uniquely and innovatively designed to train future leaders in the theatre, film, TV, games, and live events industries, including music. It combines high-level business skills with hands-on creativity. In other words, you'll not only learn to manage stuff, you'll also enjoy making stuff. And the course is driven by three distinguished vocational departments: Theatre, Film, Television and Interactive Media, TFTI, with its class-leading screen, stage and new media degrees, and the York Management and Law Schools, both institutions with world-class reputations. BCI is designed to offer the best in creative training and the best in legal and business training, and all that inside a Russell Group university, a byword for academic excellence, cutting-edge research, and intellectual rigour. And that blend of vocational learning, together with a capacity for innovation, is what the creative industries have told York they need if they are to expand on what is already a major UK success story. From film to advertising, from stage to games, the UK's creative industries are a £111 billion business. They've already outstripped traditional manufacturing, and they're expanding faster than financial services. Just look at the huge investment Netflix and the major American studios have recently made in British film and TV, for example. It's not surprising, therefore, that the workforce is still growing. 81,000 new creative jobs in 2018 alone, according to the latest official figures. And BCI has been designed to support that growth by offering the following: a core curriculum of business and leadership skills which are targeted precisely at the creative industries, but which are transferable too. A selection of options running alongside the core which will encourage you to pursue and develop your own creative enthusiasms. And a teaching environment which features industry tutors, adopts industry models, and where you will learn by confronting and responding to industrial professional challenges. Now, degree courses at York have a particular character. They're not just a grab bag of modules. They have strong narratives designed with clear objectives in mind. So you always know where you're heading and what each component is adding to your overall university story. And each year of BCI contributes a clear narrative of its own. In year one, it's a journey from story, top left here on the grid, to content development on the bottom right. We begin by exploring what creativity is fundamentally about: the human drive to tell stories, to make sense of the world, to enthrall audiences with our insights into what it means to be alive. Story will engage you in those underlying principles. And at the end of the year, content development will give you your first encounter with real-life industry processes as you develop stories into the sort of content on screen, on stage, on computers that makes practical production sense, that financiers and commissioners will pay for, and that audiences will want to consume. That journey from first principles to first industrial practices is supported and driven by the year's other core modules. Creative Materials will introduce you to some of the landmark productions and major forms that producers and impresarios, directors and entrepreneurs have created over the years to realize their stories. You'll watch and discuss an exciting selection of culturally and historically significant films, plays, TV shows, and creative experiences from across the globe. In Term 2, the emphasis is on how stories are actually produced. Business for Screen will look at the underlying business models which allow cinema, TV, and the games industry to function, from Hollywood and Bollywood to independent production, from the BBC to Netflix. And Business for Performance will look at the distinctive business procedures that animate live events, the theatre, from West End and Broadway to regional rep, music festivals, venue-based entertainment. And then there's Introduction to Screen Production Methods. Now, of all the practical and exciting facilities TFTI has to offer, this module pulls together an experience of hands-on production which we think will give you the strongest possible insight in what it is like to work together creatively, to move between different disciplines, to develop content as a team, to become an emerging creative company, if you will. You'll learn to shoot and edit on single camera, to operate a multi-camera TV studio, and then to devise, organize, and make and film inserts for your own TV show. And you'll market it to your student colleagues and stream it live. So that's year one of BCI, culminating in an industry-focused approach to delivering creativity. Year two is about developing your in-depth business skills, and the core modules, here in green, will be taught by the management and law schools as well as by TFTI. You'll also keep your creative enthusiasm simmering through two option modules here in orange. First up, Creative Business Leadership. Now, this is a module about managing people, handling talent, promoting achievement and fairness, getting the best out of a diverse workforce. How creative leaders work with creative individuals is a vital and a transferable skill. Creative Business Methods is about the fundamental disciplines all creative managers and leaders need to understand. The law, financial procedures, how to plan a project. It's here you'll learn about intellectual property and how to make money out of copyrights. And it's here you'll learn about raising production capital and developing business plans. The leadership and methods modules feed into the year's defining strand, creative business strategies. This is a module about setting up businesses, setting goals, determining what your business purposes and principles are, and what is distinctive about your creative activity. And then, of course, it's about making it work. You'll meet business experts. You'll take apart major topical case studies like how to secure the future of the BBC, or what Walt Disney hopes to get out of merging with Fox, or how the South Bank Arts Complex in London can survive the pandemic. And you'll encounter problem-based learning, a defining BCI principle, real industrial challenges transferred into a university context, as you work in teams to strategize and solve problems in your own emerging creative companies. You'll also take two options. We'll talk about those in a moment. So year two is about developing core business skills. Year three is about applying those skills as we encourage you to prepare for the world of work. You'll take a third option module, completing your personal creative journey. You'll do core work in branding and marketing, the basis of advertising, and of course, ensuring your creative projects find an audience. But the keys to BCI Year 3 are the group project and the individual project, the statement modules designed to launch you into the creative industries. Group project is about real industry experience. You'll operate in a team as a small creative business unit responding to a professional brief or a professional commission. You might develop a viral marketing strategy for a theatre production, or run the fundraising and finance for a film or games project. And your work will be judged by one of the professional industry experts who are part of the TFTI community of advisors. An individual project? Well, that's your personal statement about who you are and where your interests lie. It's your final year dissertation, but in a special TFTI form. It can be anything. A feature-length screenplay, a program proposal with production and finance schedule, a business plan, a formal 12,000-word essay. It's entirely up to you. And as long as your idea meets university criteria, we'll supervise you personally. And our research skills module will support you with the academic research and data collecting techniques that will impress the industry with your rigor and sense of detail. That's the core course. A 3-year journey from first storytelling principles to significant industrial outputs. And then there are the optional modules, 3 of them, your personal creative journey. Now, we recognise that BCI students will have a variety of creative interests and industries they'd like to work in. So we've assembled a rich collection of optional modules for your 2nd and your 3rd years. Here's a list of some of the courses we expect to offer, assembled by area, from advanced hands-on film production to the broadcasting of video games and esports, from learning to research TV shows to understanding production cultures right across the globe, from music to finance. You can choose one route, all interactive media, say, or all theatre, or you can mix and match on a journey of discovery. Our rich options catalogue is there to fire your enthusiasms. As to how you will learn, what the actual process of teaching is, here are some key details about being a BCI student at TFTI. Contact. Time spent with your tutors in lectures or workshops or supervisions is between 15 and 20 hours of a standard working week, depending on the term. And as the course develops, so the contact becomes more individually and personally focused. Assessment. Well, there are no exams. In a varied degree, we think the tasks you complete should match the area you're studying. What better way to present a business idea, for example, than in a pitch or a business plan, or to investigate production or practice than by actually doing it? We've designed our assessments to add to your skills and employability, not just to examine you. And who will you be taught by? Well, you'll meet traditional academics, experts in cinema or TV or law or management, and York and TFTI have a number of internationally renowned leaders in their field. You'll also meet industry professionals, some of us with major industry credentials, some of us still working, and some as guest lecturers and tutors, people who've actually been there and done it. And you'll have the support of our team of production officers, skilled camera people, theatre technicians, sound recorders, and computer experts who will guide you through all your practical requirements. In short, you'll experience teaching in depth from a team we like to think is always friendly and approachable. Now, as you would expect from an industry-facing degree course, we pay close attention to work experience. We operate an extensive program to identify work experience opportunities that students can pursue in their vacations at their convenience. These include, for example, regular placements at Elstree Studios and at production companies like True North in Leeds, amongst numerous others. And all students at York can turn their 3-year degree into 4 by seeking out a year-long internship. TFTI students have just come back from working at Disney and Warner Media, for example. It's important to say this, however. Unlike some creative courses, we do not require students to do work placements to earn credits for their degree. We do not think it is fair. We do not think it is fair to ask you to spend time doing something which may not be suitable or valuable and may even cost you money just to pass your course. And we think it's only fair that if you go to the expense of a university education, and we know it's high, that you get our full attention and the full benefit of the facilities and opportunities we seek to offer. So we encourage placements and experience when it works for you. And to assist with that, York is plugged into a local creative sector which is vital, growing and increasingly exciting. Channel 4's arrived in Leeds, of course, and we already have current and former students working in the production companies that are supplying its commissions. And TFGI is part of several major networks. Professional, like Screen Yorkshire, the regional cinema and TV agency, and academic, like our highly funded research projects. And they're all about expanding local creative industries, creating jobs and training opportunities, not least for students. And our relationships extend to stage and games as well as screen. Now, of course, 2020 has been a difficult time for all of us. The COVID-19 pandemic has devastated lives both here in the UK and across the world, and the future is still uncertain. Families have lost loved ones, people have lost jobs, industries are struggling to recover. And the creative industries have suffered too, and are also working out what their future might be like. But at the same time, the creative industries have done a great deal to get us through this terrible period. Movies and TV shows, some of them ingeniously produced inside lockdown, streamed theatre productions, creative entrepreneurs devising innovative online experience, all of these and more have kept us entertained during the dark days of social isolation. It's a reminder that as much as we cherish our health and our well-being, we also cherish the stories we tell to share our human experiences. And as the world recovers and as the creative industries inevitably recover, screen and stage, online and live events will need new entrepreneurs and new leaders to create new stories to talk about our new normal. And BCI will equip you for that. It'll equip you with the practical skills, the creative insights, and the intellectual discipline to exploit your opportunities, to make the most of those entry-level jobs like researcher or coordinator in TV or front of house in theatre, like production runner in film, and then develop your career. By drawing on the flexibility and range of knowledge we will seek to encourage in you. And finally, a reminder of the qualifications you will need to join us. But please note what we say at the bottom here. It's not just about grades, it's also about who you are, your passion, your determination to thrive and succeed. And that's BCI, Business of the Creative Industries at the University of York. If you'd like to know more, there are informative videos on our admissions website, and you can always contact me, Ed Brayman, directly. Or you could join us for today's virtual events, where we'll be happy to answer your questions. Thank you for your interest in BCI. We look forward to hearing from you very soon.